everybody, Tim here with another movie review, and this is a big one. This is for Avengers Infinity War, and this movie is directed by Joe and Anthony Russo, and it stars pretty much everybody who's ever been in a Marvel movie. Now, right off the bat, I'm going to say this is going to be a spoiler-free review, and I'm not going to spoil anything for you here. I will have a spoiler-filled review later this weekend after everybody's kind of had a chance to check the movie out and see it for themselves. So be known that this review might be a little vague because I don't want to spoil anything for you at all. I want you to go into the theater, check this movie out, and experience it for yourself like I did. So first I'm going to talk about the couple negatives that I had with the movie, and then I will get into the positives. But remember, I have to be a little vague. And starting with those negatives, there are a couple characters in this movie that I personally feel weren't served as well as I wish they would have. And I've had some time to think about this. I saw the movie last night, and I'm filming this the next morning. So I've had some time to think about this, and there are a couple characters. One that that's really sticking out of my head that I wish would have gotten a little more screen time. But again, guys, this is Infinity War. There are so many characters in this movie. It just happens that one of my favorites didn't get as much love as some other characters, and that's bound to happen. So I don't know if it's necessarily a negative on the movie or on what I personally was expecting out of the movie. And that kind of comes into my other negative, is the fact that, like in my Civil War review, I said that I went into the movie expecting one thing and coming out with something else. That's more or less what happened with Infinity War. I walked into Infinity War thinking that certain things were going to happen to certain people at certain times, and halfway through the movie I realized I need to wipe these expectations away. I just need to let this movie tell me the story it wants to tell. And once I made that conscious decision in my brain, I just had a ball with this movie, guys. It's so fun. It's 2.5 hours long. It's the longest MCU movie to date, only by a few minutes though, and honestly the time did not bother me. It actually kind of flew by. Now on repeat viewings we'll see how that time length holds up, but the first time watching it I had an absolute blast. And we did see this movie in 3D. The 3D was incredible. There was no like really super big moments that like exhilarated the 3D, that made the 3D better than it normally would in another movie, but it was just really well utilized. There were a couple moments, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, where some stuff flies out at you, and so that was pretty cool just for the novelty of seeing it in 3D, and I personally love 3D, but again, I thought the 3D was awesome. Now, if we get into the positives right away, this guy right here, Thanos, is awesome. I'm so happy that Thanos was portrayed so well in this movie by Josh Brolin. The CGI and the motion capture work done for Thanos is some of the best I've ever seen. It's up there with Andy Serkis and Caesar in the Planet of the Apes movie. They do such a good job at animating just the facial expressions, and it just looks pretty damn real sometimes. There's some close-ups where he looks very real, and that's good with your villain because he needs to be this big opposing threat, and boy is he. And I don't consider this a spoiler because, you know, the Guardians of the Galaxy are in the movie, but obviously they lean into the fact that Gamora is Thanos' daughter, and so leaning into that was especially great for me because, as I've said on this channel before, Guardians of the Galaxy is one of my it is my favorite MCU movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. So I really like the fact that they leaned into the Guardians of the Galaxy so much. And again, guys, there's just so many characters, so trying to balance them all out I gotta commend the Russo brothers for being able to do it at all in any capacity. The fact that they were able to take so many characters and divvy up story and fit it into 2.5 hours is just something really, really special, and I'm looking forward to seeing it again without having like white knuckling my seat the whole time. just so I could sit back and enjoy it when I know what's going to happen. Now, a lot of people have been talking about the ending of this movie, and obviously I'm not going to give it away for you at all, but it's a cliffhanger, so I don't think that's a spoiler to say. I think that this is the Empire Strikes Back of the MCU. I think that when you leave this movie, you need to know that this is a part one, and I think that's fair to say. I think that's fair to say without being a spoiler, that this movie is a part one. It was originally announced as Infinity Part 1 and Infinity War Part 2 coming out next year. They changed the titles of those movies. We still don't know the title of the Part 2, but now I'm starting to wrap my head around what it might be after seeing this movie. There's just, the ending really leaves a lot to be, you want to see more. And that's awesome, because honestly, other than being like, oh yeah, I would love to see a sequel, I've never left an MCU movie, to my knowledge, thinking like, I need to walk into the next one now. I want to see it now. I don't think I've ever felt that, other than being like, oh, I loved Guardians of the Galaxy, I can't wait till they make a sequel. But this one, it was, I just want to go into the next one. And I was telling Maggie, my fiance, who I do some videos with on this channel, we saw it together, and I was telling her, I just can't wait until there is this part two and we can just watch them both back to back. But getting back to this first movie, it's so much fun, guys. It's so much fun. I could keep going on and on, but then I might start getting into some spoilers, and I don't want to do that. It's an emotional movie. If you're a big MCU fan like I am, it's an emotional ride. It's gonna throw you around. It's gonna trip you up. But it's so satisfying all the same. I actually am very happy that I watched Black Panther right before seeing Infinity War, because as you've seen in all of the trailers, there's a big battle in Wakanda, and it didn't take as much prevalence as I thought it would based on the trailers, but it was still so awesome. I'm glad I saw Black Panther literally right before it in the theater. That was a very, very cool experience. But all the characters are so well executed. T'Challa, Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, all the Guardians, Black Widow, Spider-Man, just like all these characters that we've come to love. Just so much fun in this movie. If you're a big MCU fan, I think this is one of their best. I think this is one of the greatest movies they've ever accomplished. And I think it's probably top 3. I don't think it tops the first Guardians for me, but it might be number 2. And I'm going to see it again tonight. I'm going to see it again tonight twice, actually. And then I will score it. And we'll see what happens then at that point. But you can check out what I officially give this movie in the spoilers review that I will be doing on Sunday. So be on the lookout for that. But anyway, guys, thanks as always for watching. If you liked this review, please hit that like button and hit subscribe. Also, be sure to hit that bell icon right by the subscribe button so that every time I post a new video, you get a notification so that you know whenever I drop new content, so you can stay up to date with that all the time, because I'm going to be posting movie reviews, Blu-ray reviews, and other fun videos all the time. So be on the lookout for all of that. And anyway, guys, thanks as always for watching, and until next time, have a good one.